Hi there, my name's Alex Briggs, and I put that first video first as like kind of an introduction to our world as I see it. I think it's brilliant, and it really shows a lot of different, it shows the problem that we face and a couple different solutions. We could go backwards to things that we know have worked, like, worked, like hierarchy and monarchy and the gold standard and all of these old patterns. Or there's this movement towards a new way. And I love that video ended talking about Pandora's box. Just a little recap in case you're unfamiliar with the story. Pandora was a Greek character, and she opened up at one point. Eventually she was told not to, and then she opened this box, and out of it flew all of the monsters in the world. It was the Greek, it was kind of the equivalent for Satan. It was like the reason in Greek philosophy that there are bad things in the world. But then the last thing that was still in that box, after all the monsters had flown out, was hope. And that's something that I carry. And honestly, it's so rare to me to see someone who actually can listen to global problems like the ones in that video, and actually afterwards feel like they have a solution. I mean, you can see what I look like a little bit. I'm a large, blonde, blue-eyed male, and that's, I think, why it's an ingenious system of control. It's only because I have all of this privilege and all of these things that just literally, not just my mother, but all of society has always told me, you can be whatever you want, you can do whatever you want. And what I want is to have a world to pass on to a child, or, someone some younger kid who I care about and put myself into. And so, for me, the solution I found from TED.com, a thing called open source ecology was the concept that really struck me as the right idea. Peter, gonna have to look up his name again. The guy in the Zeitgeist movie there. He talks about an economy of abundance, and that's entirely possible. We have so much material around us, but what we need to give the means of production into the people of the world. We need to give all the people who are struggling and unhappy, which is everyone basically, the actual means and tools to have hope and to build a better world. And I've figured out a way to do that. Honestly, you just have to look back at the way that we got here in the first place. The Industrial Revolution. Open source ecology wants to make a toolkit, a global village construction set, which is the set of all tools needed to build from scratch up to a life of modern comfort. And it's a brilliant concept. I went out and I moved there, and I guess it was exactly what you would kind of expect of a isolated movement in the
What state is that in?
It's in Missouri, and when I got there, it was exactly what you would expect from like an isolated, extremely idealistic commune in the middle of Missouri, which was kind of a mess. And all the credit to Martin, because the person who founded it, because it's the right idea and he's doing the best he can do, and it's a mess a lot of the times too. But I would love your help, and if you start with a foundry and then you make a metal shop, and if you hook it up to motors and in the internet so it's digitized, then with a 3D printer we can print out any pattern, we can cast it into metal, we can machine it into machines, and from there we can rebuild everything that we have.
Do you have a place where we can put it?
Absolutely. I live here in Troy, New York, and it is actually where the Industrial Revolution just about started in America. And it could start here again. I've got a garage, I've got a welder. In town there's a huge makerspace that has every sort of thing, 3D printers, scanners, anything you could want, laser cutters, and it's all here. My name's Alex Briggs, and I'd love to be in touch.